The famous.
What if I told you that Michael Jackson's journey from a young boy in Gary, Indiana to the king of pop was filled with more drama and triumphs than you ever imagined? In this video, we'll uncover the struggles and stunning successes that shaped his legendary career. Stick around to find out how he transformed his pain into an unparalleled legacy, and why his story continues to captivate millions around the globe. Once upon a time, in a modest, working-class home in Gary, Indiana, a boy named Michael Joseph Jackson was born on August 29, 1958. His parents, Catherine and Joseph Jackson, were already raising a large family, and Michael was the 8th of 10 children. Little did they know that this small, delicate boy would grow up to become one of the most influential and recognizable figures in the history of music, a man whose name would be synonymous with pop culture itself. Michael's childhood was steeped in music. His father, Joseph Jackson, was a former boxer and steelworker who harbored dreams of becoming a musician. He played guitar for a local rhythm and blues band, the Falcons, and was determined that his children would succeed where he had not. Michael's mother, Catherine, was a devout Jehovah's Witness who nurtured her children's talents and instilled in them a strong sense of faith and family values. In the Jackson household, music was more than just a pastime. It was a way of life. Joseph was a strict disciplinarian who pushed his children relentlessly to achieve perfection in their performances. The Jackson brothers, Jackie, Tito, Jermaine, Marlon, and later Michael, formed a band that would eventually become known as the Jackson 5. Michael, the youngest of the group, quickly emerged as its star. Even at a young age, his natural talent was undeniable. He possessed a voice that was both powerful and soulful, and his charisma on stage was magnetic. By 1964, when Michael was just 6 years old, the Jackson 5 began performing at local clubs and talent shows. Their blend of pop, soul, and rhythm and blues music, combined with their energetic stage presence, quickly caught the attention of audiences. It wasn't long before they were discovered by Motown Records, the legendary Detroit-based label that was home to artists like Diana Ross, Stevie Wonder, and Marvin Gaye. In 1969, the Jackson 5 signed with Motown, and their first single, I Want You Back, was released later that year. The song was an instant hit, reaching #1 on the Billboard Hot 100 chart. This success was followed by a string of chart-topping singles, including ABC, The Love You Save, and I'll Be There. The Jackson 5 were now a national sensation, performing on television shows like The Ed Sullivan Show and American Bandstand, and embarking on nationwide tours. Michael, despite being the youngest member of the group, was the focal point. His incredible voice, combined with his dazzling dance moves and captivating stage presence, made him a superstar in his own right. But behind the scenes, life was not as glamorous as it seemed. The pressure to succeed was immense, and the grueling schedule took its toll on Michael, who had little time for a normal childhood. As the 1970s progressed, Michael began to crave independence from the group. He wanted to explore his artistic vision and develop his own identity as a performer. In 1971, at the age of 13, he released his first solo album, Got to Be There, which included hits like the title track and Rockin' Robin. Although he was still a member of the Jackson 5, it was clear that Michael was destined for a solo career. In 1972, Michael's solo career took another leap forward with the release of Ben, a sentimental ballad about a boy and his pet rat. The song became Michael's first solo #1 single, earning him a Golden Globe Award for Best Original Song and an Academy Award nomination. Yet, even as his solo career blossomed, Michael continued to perform and record with the Jackson 5, who had now evolved into the Jacksons after leaving Motown and signing with Epic Records. The Jacksons' move to Epic allowed them greater creative freedom, and they began writing and producing their own material. Albums like Destiny and Triumph showcased a more mature sound, and Michael's contributions as a songwriter and producer became increasingly prominent. But by the late 1970s, Michael was ready to take his career to the next level. In 1979, Michael released Off the Wall, his first solo album as an adult artist. The album, produced by the legendary Quincy Jones, was a critical and commercial success. It featured a mix of pop, funk, and disco, with tracks like Don't Stop Till You Get Enough and Rock With You becoming major hits. Off the Wall sold over 20 million copies worldwide and earned Michael his first Grammy Award. For many, it was the moment when Michael Jackson truly came into his own as an artist. But Michael was not content to rest on his laurels. He was determined to create something even bigger, something that would change the face of music forever. In 1982, he released Thriller, an album that would go on to become the best-selling album of all time. Thriller was a phenomenon, blending pop, rock, and R&B in a way that had never been done before. The album's success was driven by a series of groundbreaking music videos, including the title track, which featured Michael's now legendary zombie dance. The Thriller video was more than just a music video, it was a cultural event. Directed by John Landis, it was a mini-movie that combined horror, music, and dance in a way that captivated audiences around the world. Michael's red leather jacket, the single white glove, and his mesmerizing moonwalk became iconic symbols of the 1980s. The album also produced other hits like Billie Jean and Beat It, further cementing Michael's status as the king of pop. The success of Thriller catapulted Michael to global superstardom. He became the first artist to have 7 top 10 singles from one album, and he won a record-breaking 8 Grammy Awards in a single night. But more than that, Michael had redefined the music industry. He had shown that music videos could be a powerful artistic medium, and he had pushed the boundaries of what was possible in pop music. As the 1980s continued, Michael's influence only grew. He released Bad in 1987, another hugely successful album that featured hits like Smooth Criminal, Bad, and The Way You Make Me Feel. The accompanying music videos were just as innovative as those from Thriller, and Michael's elaborate live performances set new standards for concert tours. The Bad World Tour was a massive success, drawing millions of fans to sold-out shows around the world. However, with fame came intense scrutiny. Michael's appearance began to change during this period, leading to widespread speculation and rumors. His skin became lighter, and his facial features appeared to change, fueling tabloid stories about plastic surgery and skin treatments. Michael revealed that he had a skin condition called vitiligo, which caused his skin to lose pigmentation, but the media frenzy continued. Despite the negative press, Michael continued to produce music that resonated with audiences. In 1991, he released Dangerous, an album that showcased his ability to blend pop with new jack swing, a genre that fused R&B, hip-hop, and swing music. The album included hits like Black or White, Remember the Time, and Heal the World, and it sold over 32 million copies worldwide. Michael's music often reflected his concern for social issues, particularly those affecting children and the environment. He founded the Heal the World Foundation in 1992, a charitable organization dedicated to improving the lives of children around the globe. His humanitarian efforts earned him recognition, including the Humanitarian Award from the United College Fund and the World Music Awards Best-Selling Pop Male Artist of the Millennium Award. Yet, the 1990s were also a turbulent time for Michael. In 1993, he faced serious allegations that deeply impacted his life and career. He always maintained his innocence, and the matter was eventually settled out of court. These events led to intense media scrutiny and took a toll on Michael's personal and professional life. In 1995, Michael released History, Past, Present, and Future, Book 1, a double album that combined some of his greatest hits with new material. The album included the hit single, You Are Not Alone, which became the first song in history to debut at #1 on the Billboard Hot 100 chart. However, History also reflected Michael's frustration with the media. Songs like Scream, a duet with his sister Janet Jackson, and They Don't Care About Us expressed his feelings about the controversies surrounding him. The late 1990s and early 2000s saw Michael retreat further from the public eye. He married twice, first to Lisa Marie Presley, the daughter of Elvis Presley, and later to Debbie Rowe, with whom he had 2 children, Prince and Paris. He also had a third child, Prince Michael II, known as Blanket, through a surrogate. His personal life became the subject of endless tabloid speculation, and his public appearances became increasingly rare. In 2001, Michael made a brief return to the spotlight with the release of Invincible, his final studio album. Although it received mixed reviews, the album included hits like You Rock My World and Butterflies. However, it did not achieve the same level of commercial success as his earlier work. As the years passed, Michael's health began to decline. He suffered from chronic pain and insomnia, and his use of prescription medications became a source of concern for those close to him. Despite these challenges, he announced a series of comeback concerts in 2009, titled This Is It. The shows were scheduled to take place in London, and fans eagerly anticipated Michael's return to the stage. Tragically, Michael Jackson never had the chance to perform those shows. On June 25, 2009, he passed away at the age of 50. His death shocked the world, and millions of fans around the globe mourned the loss of a legend. The outpouring of grief was unprecedented, with tributes pouring in from all corners of the globe. In the years since his passing, Michael Jackson's legacy has continued to grow. His influence on music, dance, and popular culture is immeasurable. Artists across genres have cited him as an inspiration, and his songs remain timeless anthems that continue to resonate with audiences of all ages. Michael Jackson was not just a performer. He was a cultural phenomenon, a man whose impact on the world will be felt for generations to come. Michael's life was a story of extraordinary talent, boundless creativity, and a relentless pursuit of perfection. It was also a tale of the high price of fame, the pressures of living in the public eye, and the complexities of a life lived under constant scrutiny. Despite the controversies and challenges he faced, Michael Jackson's contribution to the world of music and entertainment is unparalleled. He was, and will always be, the king of pop, an icon whose story will continue to be told for generations to come.